And welcome back to Frisco, Texas. The Star, the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys, are here now for the third and final matchup during the 2019 Texas Football Classic. Zach Walchuk, Nick Lopius here. Now, the first two games we saw some very good players, but now we're getting to see the players that are going to be making an immediate impact for their high schools this year.
Yeah, no doubt. We actually have a couple of guys that might even already have some collegiate offers in this one, and an outstanding quarterback that's going to be playing over for the Stripes team, and Jake Strong. James Madison's an outstanding receiver that'll be playing for the Stars. We also have a couple of guys in the trenches that we'll highlight during this one, so this should be a thrilling game. If it's anything like we just saw, we're in for a treat.
Well, there's obviously a lot of big players down there. Eric Chiafalo is down there right now. We're going to go to him in just a moment to kind of get the atmosphere of what's going on in this third and final game. But first, we're going to pause for a moment of silence and then the playing of our national anthem.
Bearing the flag for the U15 Stripes is number 62, Trey Sparks of Golden, Colorado. And bearing the flag for the U15 Stars is number 50, Jacobus Veteran of Bothell, Washington.
So as we get ready to cap off of what has been an eventful 5 days for all of these players, again, the final game of today's trio, what are you expecting to see from a lot of these big guys down there?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to see a physical game. I think we talked about the difference just from the 9 a.m. game to the noon game in terms of the pace of play. I think the speed of the game is going to be the best that we've seen. So hopefully this one's another barn burner. We got a lot of highlights that we'll be able to run through. I think it's going to be close.
Well, it's going to be exciting to watch for sure, and we've already seen the size of some of these players. Someone who's seen it up close and personal is Eric Chiafalo down on the sidelines. Eric, what is it like down there? What is the atmosphere down there for this final of 3 games?
Oh, the energy is fantastic down here, Nick. Thank you very much. The size, you said it. I mean, I'm looking up at all these guys. I'm amongst trees. They look like grown men. They do not look like they should be playing on Friday nights. Most of these guys look like they should be playing at least on Saturdays. And I got a matchup for you to watch here. On the offensive line for the Stars, you have a guy named Philip Gallegos, absolutely monster human being. And on the defensive line, guess who? Mr. DeAndre Carter from Temecula, California. The dude's already got some college offers. That battle in the trenches between those two beasts is going to be something to watch for today. Everything I'm hearing, talking to these coaches, talking to these players, it's going to be a slugfest today. The scrimmage on Saturday night, you can tell things got a little bit chippy. There's certainly no love lost between these two teams. It's gonna be physical, like Zach said. It's gonna be a slugfest. I'd imagine this will probably be the cleanest game we see out of the first two. A little bit of the younger kids, a little bit of rust, a little bit of jitters. These guys seem ready to go. I would imagine the penalties maybe down a little bit. Some of that pre-snap stuff. A lot of the turnovers, we'll get that cleaned up. In the first two games, we saw a lot of that. I would imagine these guys, These guys are ready to go. They're fired up. They cannot wait to dominate the man in front of them. And, fellas, it's going to be a fantastic time. You probably can't smell it from there, but I can smell the testosterone from here. These guys are grown men, and I'm looking forward to a good one. I'll send it back up to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Very excited to watch this game. The Stars and Stripes. Stars are in the all-white uniform, Stripes in all black. Again, the final of 3 games today, and well, Zach, I agree 100% with Eric. I mean,
Well, you can smell the testosterone?
Yeah, I think so.
I can certainly smell the testosterone from here.
Some big boys down there out on the field. I do agree as well. Probably be the cleanest game we see throughout the day. Well, you talked about it just a minute ago. We saw a huge difference between the 9 a.m. and the noon game. I think this is going to be a very exciting game to watch. Just the skill that these teams have, and yeah, they've only been together about 4 or 5 days, but we saw that wasn't too big of an issue for the noon game, so you got to think it's going to be even less of an issue as we started out. The Stars start off with the football. As we get things underway, they'll start with the handoff right up the middle, making one man miss, gets back to the line, but's met by a few black jerseys.
Well, we didn't get the opening touchdown run like we had in the previous game that started at noon. But you can already see the size right there. Big number 90 is DeAndre Carter in the middle there for the Stripes. Big 90 in black. That's exactly who Eric highlighted. He's already got an offer from Arizona State. Reportedly, Oregon is talking to him as well.
Jalen Davenport, the running back, is brought down. We can bring up 3rd down already.
Austin Nash from Colorado Springs, Colorado, getting into the backfield and wreaking havoc from the get-go. So, much like we've seen, the defenses have had success early on. It wasn't much the case in that second game, but it does not surprise me if you start to see the line of scrimmage be dominated, especially the Stripes unit. The Stripes defensive line is outstanding and littered with talent.
3rd and 17, back to pass is deflected out of the hands. Kalon Davis, the quarterback for this Stars team, was looking for I believe Davey Morales, the intended receiver, not able to bring it in. 3 and out for this Stars unit.
Kalon Davis from Denton, Texas, just up the road. Well, not just up the road. It's about 30 to 40 minutes or so here from Frisco, Texas. But look, Denton's produced quite a few quality quarterbacks. J.W. Walsh, who went to Oklahoma State. Spencer Sanders from Denton Ryan, who's currently at Oklahoma State now, that I believe is going to be one of the premier collegiate quarterbacks in just a couple of years. Gerard Hurd, who won a couple of state championships at Denton Geyer, went on to the University of Texas. So, he's going to be in quite the pipeline there. A little bit of a shallow punt that we just saw, so outstanding field position early here for the Stars.
So now we'll see how this Stars defensive line will match up. As we'll be joined back here by Mr. Chiafalo, and
They look huge, man.
Terrified.
I mean, they look huge from up here, and we're on the 3rd floor of this building. I can't imagine what it was like standing right next to them.
It's unbelievable. You actually can smell the testosterone from up here. It's just
Here's a handoff now. First offensive play for the Stripes, and a gain of a few as Jaden Lindsay gets the first handoff.
Yeah, and Jaden Lindsay from McKinney, Texas, a player to watch out for in this one as well. Jaden Lindsay, really highly skilled player as we look at some of the notes that we've gotten from Mr. Pops. He basically does everything right on the field in every single situation. He passes the eye test for you. He's got a good build, good low center of gravity, and Aiden Fortenberry made that tackle there. Fortenberry, another player to watch here in this one.
2nd down and 5, and a run by Lindsay gets to about the mark, or maybe just a yard shy.
And you can tell Lindsay, he's one of those players maybe a little bit smaller right now, certainly still has room to grow. But that lower body, big, thick kid, he's got thunder thighs, got a little bit of junk in the trunk, if I can say that.
I'm
but
a big fan of
that's
that.
important. That's important from a running back. You've got to have that lower body strength.
See if he continues to run it up the middle. He does have, like you said, the lower body strength. Now A little bit of a quarterback scramble trying to get to the 30.
Oh!
Got hit hard.
Bang!
Big hit, Brock Lyle.
Holy
Goodness
smokes.
gracious. I'll tell you what, Jackson Gilkey, the quarterback from Ennis, Texas, is going to think twice before he goes ahead and pulls that thing again.
Yeah, welcome to USA Football. And shout out to number 10, the safety, Ryan, I don't know, I'm going to butcher it, Budar. That dude came up screaming from the back end, and
Buter.
Buter.
Hitter?
Buhider.
There we go.
Should be hitter because he laid a stick on him. Really, really nice job from the safety.
That was a great throw.
Yeah, it was.
A pickup of about 5.
Anticipatory pass right there. Good job. Ball was on the receiver before he even had time to turn around and locate it. That was a nice job there by Gilkey coming back after getting popped. So 2nd and 5, and the Stripes offense is cooking a little bit.
That was Gavin Jenkins with the reception out of Colorado Springs. A couple of talented players we've seen throughout the first 2 games coming out of Colorado. See if Jenkins have another big game for his state. And here's another handoff up the middle, and Lindsay gets another 2 yards.
Yeah. Ryan Meza coming up there from the safety position. I mean, that dude, we know about him, absolute stud there in the back end, and just an impact player, especially in the run defense, does not shy away from contact. He showed it right there. I mean, he's transitioned from, he could transition to linebacker. When you look at him back there, he's got the size. He comes up, he puts his nose in everything. That dude could be a linebacker down the line.
3rd down and 4. JT Foreman now in at running back. It's a play-action bootleg deflected at the line of scrimmage.
Another one of those man beasts out there on the defensive line for the Stars. Number 75, Walker Davis, out of Benton, Arizona. My goodness. Or is that Arkansas? It's Arkansas. Excuse me. Maybe he'll be a future Razorback. The dude's big enough. He's got the body.
Yeah, I'm sure Chad Morris would love to have him up there. Did an excellent job. Now, it was kind of a screen scenario, but he got upfield so quickly.
Get those
It didn't
big
matter.
bear paws up. Bat it down.
So he's going to go for about a 42-yard field goal attempt. 4th down, 4. Good snap. Here comes the kick. As the distance and just squeaks it through. So the Stripes strike first, a 42-yard field goal.
Tyler Morgan out of Brookshire, Texas.
That was a nice kick.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the earliest we've seen a field goal try in this triple header today. So a lot of confidence there in their place kicker, and he goes ahead and rewards them. So a 3-0 early lead for the Stripes. Now let's see what the Stars can do to respond.
All right, I told you here, the matchup to watch is big.
DeAndre Carter.
DeAndre Carter on that Stripes defensive line out of California, going up against big number 50, Philip Gallegos. He's a Texas guy, and we know the offensive linemen in Texas don't mess around. DeAndre Carter, I guess he's not going to get the start here, which is a surprise.
Well, he was. This is their second defensive
okay.
So while you were on the way back up here, Carter, actually made a nice play.
No surprise.
Quick 3 and out there.
So yet another good prediction for Mr. Chiafalo.
Oh.
This one sails well out of bounds and complete 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, and you see Jaquan Johnson just pop right up, and he's looking like, hey, can I get a call there? But we've seen that all day long. These officials have really let the kids play, especially on the backside.
Yeah, as long as they're consistent, I like the physicality, letting them play a little bit.
Here's a handoff, trying to find a lane, a big tackle. On to bring up 3rd down.
Not a bad run there from Castillo, pretty good vision.
But great closing speed by Torres there, who made the tackle for the Stripes. You're right, it was a nice run, but he came from the opposite side of the field and just closed that one down.
So 3rd and 7 in their own 28. Play action, a blitz coming from the side is caught. Back up toward the middle of the field, has a 1st down and then some. Brought down at the 42-yard line.
Jaquan Johnson, a good-looking player. He's excited about that one. Just a nice, easy completion there right over the middle of the field, and Johnson does the rest.
From
Goodness
Ventura,
gracious, the
California.
size of these lines.
Yeah, well, and they had linebacker Caden Torres, number 47, screaming off the edge there, and he was about a half step too late, or he would have got the sack.
A run right up the middle will get maybe a yard before running into that offense or that defensive line rather.
Big
Isaiah
93,
Smith, yeah.
Evan Keefe.
Both of them just pinching in there and eating that one up.
Another play action has a man open and
Oh.
just over the arms of James Madison II from Kansas City.
Yeah, it was a great play call, too. And James Madison, who I believe had a really good game in Ohio last year, a game that you were at, Nick, to call alongside Kyle Yeomans. And yeah, that play action, you start running the football a little bit, you get the defense cheating up a little, and Madison was open. Just a little overthrown there.
Yeah, Madison, again, another example of in this program for a few years and really start to see the growth year after year. That time not able to bring in the pass. 3rd down and 9. Here's another long pass, and again, just out of the reach. The intended wide receiver, this time it was Bryson Cornelius from Crossroads, Texas.
And that wasn't a bad throw right there, in my opinion. You know, I thought that Braden Dorman put that in a location where his receiver Cornelius had a chance at it. You know, that's one of those where you don't want to call anybody out, but you get a little bit of alligator arms. You got a safety that's coming up ready to blow you up if you make the catch. You hear the footsteps a little bit. Certainly throwing his receiver in a bad position, but not a bad ball.
A punt fielded at the 31-yard line, so the Stripes up 3-0. We'll get the ball right back, 6.5 to go in the first quarter of action. USA Football, a member of the U.S. Olympic Committee, offers athletes premier skill building and competitive platforms to represent the United States in our favorite sport. Athletes in grades 6 to 11 can get started on one of 18 U.S. national team regionals held this spring and summer. Top performers earn U.S. national team roster invitations to face the world's best competition and play for at under 16 to 19 levels. And here's the first play from scrimmage back to the line.
More hard hits. I love it. I absolutely love it. Evan Oliver, linebacker out of none other than Grand Prairie, Texas. We know they keep pumping out athletes all over the field.
Especially linebackers.
Especially linebackers.
That is a good area. They've churned out several good ones.
And it looks like they got another good one in Evan Oliver. Really nice job there stringing it along for no gain on the play.
So now 2nd down and a
got
false start.
Yep. Coming up here on the Stripes. First penalty, I think, that we've seen today. About halfway through the quarter.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have a cleaner game with some of these pre-snap penalties.
That's not too bad. You know, you make about 5 minutes before you get your first one.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, we're looking at 2 per quarter. At this rate, we're looking at about 8 flags.
Total? It's not bad.
Not terrible.
Eric's done pretty well so far on his predictions the first 2 games. We'll see.
Oh, my gosh. I've been Tony Romo today, boys, just calling it left and right.
All right, let's calm it down, Nick. I really don't need his head getting inflated anymore.
Nick, I appreciate the love, brother.
I'll keep a tab over here, so we got 1 flag so far. If we get over 8,
then I was wrong.
Yes. So throw here on 2nd and 15. We'll lose a couple more yards.
Talk about closing speed out of the defensive back there. Mason Dobbins, really nice job. And he doesn't let him get away. You know, some of those short passes, DB missed the tackle, wide receiver takes what would have been a 1 or 2 yard gain, turns it into 5, 6, 7. And Dobbins says, no, sir, I'm here, and you are going down.
I'm excited about Jake Strong, the quarterback here, number 7 in black for the Stripes, a player that we saw last year in this very game. He was pretty darn impressive, and, you know, everything we're hearing about him is this kid is everything you want in a quarterback.
Is able to get away momentarily. He's brought back down to loss of 1, 4th down at 13 from Justin, Texas. Jake Strong going to a pretty good Northwest High School team.
It's my alma mater there, Nick. I don't know if you know that. I'm a Northwest Texan through and through. Now, when I played, we were at the 5A level when the Trinities, the South Lakes, the Allens, we were getting pummeled on a regular basis. Now, that 5A level looks a little bit easier for them, and they've strung together.
They had a good season last year,
seasons,
yes.
Absolutely. 3 rounds deep into the playoffs. Pretty good.
Be excited to see what Strong can do for that Texan program, and this one's fair caught at the 39-yard line. So the Stars will get their third offensive possession, looking for some points. 4:07 to go here in the first quarter.
A little bit slow offensively for both sides, and that's something we've highlighted throughout the first 3 games here, and this one's no different. When you get about 4 days or so with each team together to prepare, advantage goes to the defense. Here's DeAndre Carter, big 90, stepping back in.
Can't miss him. I mean, literally, if you put him on an NFL field, he looks right at home.
Yes.
I think, physically.
And we'll have the Denton, Texas native at quarterback, Kalen Davis.
He'll hand it off and stretching forward for an extra yard. Oh, and there's big old number 90 right there.
Yep, right there in the middle of it. You're going to try to run into the teeth of that defense. Mr. Carter is not going to let that happen. Hey, and let's not forget about Mr. Davey Pombo III out of Kerman, California. That dude's a beast as well. Both of those guys on the interior there. If I'm a running back, I'm trying to bounce it outside.
Pombo number 88 in black. There's Carter again, forcing the issue, and this one's incomplete, brings up third down.
The thing about Carter, not only, I mean, you're that big, you expect him to be dominant in the run game, plugging holes there, eating up blockers.
Defensive line, though, is incredible.
But even in the pass game, he's got some pass rush moves, and he's just too strong. These guards for the Stars just don't really seem to have a shot.
That's one of those guys you see, oh, man, this is the dude I've got to line up against when you're watching tape leading up to the week.
Like, Coach, why don't you stand? Let me be the
you're
right
up
guard.
every night.
Coach, I'll be the right guard. Don't want to be the left guard.
So third down and 9, direct snap. Here comes the quarterback run past the 50. We'll get the first down.
Nice play there on the quarterback keeper. And what I like about it from Kalen Davis is he did not wait. I mean, he knew, all right, this is mine. They're calling 14. Let's do this. He took it right off the left side, over pursuit of the stripes, caught him, and Davis knew exactly where it needed to get for the line to gain.
Yeah, that was a gutsy run right there. Able to get that first down. Team desperately needed it right there, too. Get a little momentum.
Do a handoff, able to make one man miss. Gets a yard or two before being dragged back down. You have number 91, Austin Nash, and the 93, Evan Keefe, on that defensive line as well. Colorado Springs and then Muskogee, Oklahoma. Like you guys have been saying, that is just a massive defensive line.
Yeah, and Joshua Santos did a nice job getting penetration in the backfield that play, really slowing down the running back, allowing his guys to come. He didn't make the tackle, but he caused that play to go nowhere.
Second down and 8, 2.5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Still 3-0 Stripes with the lead. The Stars are marching, though. Able to get past the 40 down to about the 35. It's another first down.
Marquise Hill, another player from Denton, and those two, they might have played together before. When you look at having the advantage of that Davis to Hill connection, both being from the same area, and that is a big boy. I mean, he certainly looks the part on the outside. In fact, as he grows into his frame, I could see him maybe moving over to tight end.
Just going to say that. He's got that body of a tight end, especially that lower half. The dude is thick with 2 C's, as the kids like to say.
Well, again, they're going to try and run it right down the middle, but number 90 is there again. 90 and 88 connect with the tackle. Second down and 10.
I like the even spread. 2-2 on each side. We saw a lot of spread, but it would be 3 stacked to one side with one receiver on the opposite end.
Here comes a blitz now off that outside edge and is brought down for a big loss.
Aiden McGowan, really, really nice job. Kid out of Minnesota. Really disguised that blitz well, came screaming off that right side, and, man, poor Kalen Davis didn't have anywhere to go.
And you mentioned Joshua Santos, but he continues also to have himself a nice game. Looks a little bit small when you stack him up next to the other three behemoths along that line, but he's certainly got quickness.
3rd and 19 now, backed up all the way to their own, or the Stripes 44-yard line. Another direct snap, and trying to spin free, stays up on his feet for a moment, but we'll get to the 40. We'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Stars just trying to play that field position game, 3rd and a mile, right there at midfield. I actually like the call. Usually I'm here for the aggression, but at this point in the field, go ahead, try to pin them back inside their own 20. Trust that defense. Still early in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Play your field position. Your defense has not played poorly at all. It's a nice punt.
It's a good punt.
There you
Fielded at the 11-yard line, so it'll be a long field to work with for the Stripes. With 14 seconds to go, a 3-point lead here in quarter number 1. The defense stands strong again. USAFootball.com is your home to gain an edge on the field. Be a better coach, player, or football parent at USAFootball.com. It's been a fun 4 or 5 days or so.
Has anybody shown love to Jackson Gilkey's hair yet? Because
I don't believe so.
I was waiting for you. I mean, for the people that didn't get to see Eric down on the field during the pregame interview, don't worry. You'll get to see him at halftime.
It's true.
But he does rock the man bun. And in fact, when he undoes the bun, he's got the flowing locks with a little bit of blonde trim.
Yeah. Ladies
there.
love it. Ladies
So
love it.
he's our resident hair aficionado.
And let me tell you something. Jackson Gilkey at the quarterback position, great head of hair. You can see it flowing out of the back of that helmet. Now he's got the black uniform on. He's got dark hair as well, so it's kind of hard to see. But just so everybody knows,
kind of blends in.
Mr. Gilkey's got a great head of hair. By the way, when you see me at halftime doing a little interview, a little something, it's because I'm going to be talking to the Stripes' tight end number 44, Christian Ingram, out of Rockland, California. We'll have a nice conversation at the half.
Now we'll be looking forward to that, but for now we'll take a quick break as we come back for the second half of action. You're watching the 2019 Texas Classic on Game On Sports. We are back for the second quarter of action. A false start penalty will pin back the Stripes a little bit more. They'll be down to about the 7-yard line.
Exactly what you wanted. You're the Stars playing that field position game, get a really nice punt. And now you got them backed up inside their own 10-yard line, 2nd and long. Maybe defense steps up, gets a little turnover here. Short field for the offense.
2nd and 14 now. Rushing out to his right, throws it out of bounds, bring up 3rd down.
Of course, Ryan Meza on the coverage. Dude's all over the field.
Yeah, he really is, and he had a chance there to would have been an excellent play, but an opportunity to maybe get that turnover
Oh,
that
you
you
getting
were
a little
talking
nitpicky
about.
now? You trying to get a little greedy?
What?
Think Meza should have had the pick 6 there?
I didn't say he should have, but he had an opportunity to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I specified that it would have been an incredible play.
And we think Meza's good enough to make that incredible
I
play.
absolutely do.
Well, I'm sure he's got a lot of incredible plays in store for the next 3 quarters.
Maybe right here on 3rd and 13. Again, having to roll out. Has a little bit of room, though. big hit at the 16-yard line.
Aiden Fortenberry, the linebacker, screaming from across the field with a fantastic play right there.
That
on
kid's a stud.
Gilkey.
And that's the second big-time hit he's had, and he covers a lot of ground. For a dude who's a little bit of a bigger body, and this kid has some tremendous sideline-to-sideline speed.
Yeah,
Another
the dude's just
linebacker.
always around the ball. Always around the ball. Been in the program since 5th grade. He's just gotten better and better.
He's just grown up here with USA football.
It's just been incredible to see the linebacker talent
Right.
throughout the day.
Yeah, a lot of really good linebackers.
Especially
here
the
at
size
USA
of some of
football.
these
Yeah.
guys. Like, you see them, and you wouldn't think, oh, man, that guy's probably not the fastest, but they are just flying
Oh, they
around
got
out there.
wheels. They got wheels, Chuck.
So again, good field position for the Stars, down by 3. We'll have it right at midfield. 21st Century Football is here, built by USA Football. The football development model is a framework for fun and fitness through America's favorite sport, open to every youth and scholastic program. Sign up to discover football's future at usafootball.com/FDM. Again, usafootball.com/FDM. And the Stars are back out looking to either tie things up or perhaps take a lead. And a low snap, but it's a screen all the way. Has a couple of blocks set up downfield, able to get past the 40, down to the 25, stiff arms a man all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Holy smoke.
That is a
Jalen
run right there.
Davenport.
Jalen
Goodness
Davenport.
gracious.
Like you said there, sir. Now, that far left sideline has been the friend to many a running backs today. We saw it previously. But Davenport, holy cow.
That was a man run right there out of Davenport. Let's get him the rock one more time. Let him go find Pater.
Try and set up another screen. This time was wide receiver, and it's incomplete. Almost looked like a backwards pass. Thought it was a fumble.
James Madison the second. You know, that's one of the players that's coming off, having a really good bowl series last year. Expect much of the same from him here today, and maybe a little bit of a high pass, but for Dorman, Madison the second's a tall receiver, so you want to put it up there high, and that one just doinks right off the hands.
Makes it 2nd down and 10. We'll hand it off to Davenport. Runs right into the teeth of that defensive line. Picks up maybe 2.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the D lineman there for the Stripes, but still another physical run out of Davenport. Just a skilled back. Kind of just does all the little things right, all the details of football, the blocking, the vision. The dude's got it all, and he's an absolute man beast, just shrugging off wimpy tacklers.
Third and 8 on the Stripes 11. There's the snap, a little bit of pressure, and a pass down in the end zone, incomplete through the hands of Madison.
Well, he had a much easier pass backside to Marquise Hill, who was calling for the ball on the slant route. He was wide open.
Yeah, and a guy like Hill with that big body, someone you'd think you'd want to utilize him in this red zone area here, and they elected to go the other way. Let's see if they can tie it up.
Max Nowak in to attempt about 30-yarder. Try and knock things up. Drills it right down the middle and evens it up at 3 apiece with 9:50 to go in this first half. So a good drive by the Stars. Not able to put 7 up on the board, but do get some points up. And look back to their defense for another stop.
3-all. We've yet to see anybody reach the end zone yet, but you can start to feel both offenses now get a little bit more comfortable. You had the big run by Davenport that really set up that field goal drive there. And we'll see who comes back out at quarterback for the Stripe squad as they rotate.
So Stars defense, couple of solid defensive possessions and looking for another stop. Perhaps get some more good field position for their offense. 1st and 10 on the 25 for the Stripes team. Open the scoring early in the first quarter. Haven't been able to put anything up since. Here comes a free play. It was offsides on the Stars, and we'll walk forward to about the 30-yard line.
Got a flag down there off that far side, and it will be Jake Strong who checks into the game. At quarterback, Strong from Justin, Texas, as we highlighted earlier. Be an offsides penalty on the Stars, and the Stripes are thrilled to hear that as they'll move it up a couple 5 yards.
1st down and 5 at the 30 now. It's about where Strong got to on the quarterback keeper. Strong looking at perhaps a blitz. Will pass it out, and a good catch. Past the 35 to about the 38 for a 1st down.
I believe that's Will Way, the tight end from Tucson, Arizona. The tight end that's really the quarterback's best friend. You need a safety valve, just find your big tight end. Just a nice quick throw for Strong out in the flats. Give yourself some positive yardage, and he goes for a 1st down.
As y'all mentioned in the previous game, probably the best time to be a tight end in the game of football. A lot of mismatches for the tight ends, and like you said, always a safe bet for the quarterback. So this time, let's try to get it out to Nathaniel Villanueva from Corpus Christi. Not able to connect, brings up 2nd down.
So much versatility at the tight end position, and what offensive coordinators are able to do. It's a benefit to have more than just one good one. Now we kind of saw the New England Patriots in the NFL transition to utilizing that 2 tight ends set more and more effectively than anybody has before. Stanford's done it very well at the collegiate level, and it's just a position now that it's such a mismatch nightmare for defensive players.
2nd down, a quick corner route is caught, brought out at the 47-yard line, bring up 3rd and manageable. That time it was Joshua Gerlich, the 2nd, making the catch.
Yeah, I like that play call there from the Stripes. They isolate Gerlich there, or Gerlach at the top, at the bottom of the offense, and just a quick ball, rhythm throw, in and out of the hands. Don't let this pass rush of the Stripes breathe down your quarterback's neck. Positive gain. Now it's 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1. It's going to be a false start.
Yeah, it looked like the running back.
Lindsey.
Hey, but look at that leadership right there. Jake Strong with the little tap on the helmet. Jaden Lindsey just a little bit excited. Couldn't hold his water. And Strong with the leadership ability saying, it's all right, we'll get this one back. Now that's tough. It's a terrible time to have that happen because it was 3rd down and 1, and now it's 3rd down and 6.
That's the 2nd pre-snap right there. Penalty?
That is, yes.
Shooting for 8 or less?
Yes, if we get over 8, then
well, it was good. The 3rd penalty overall.
Yeah, so are we going pre-snap penalties or are we
clarify.
going overall?
No, we're doing overall.
All right.
My gray area.
So we got 3 penalties.
I'm taking you out of that gray area. I'm not letting you live on the fence anymore.
All right, so we're 3 of 8. We're on pace to still be on the under.
It's a little bit of a misdirection. Not able to hold on to it was Christian Ingram.
The design was there.
Yep.
Certainly with the play action, and then you have Strong come backside, and you just slip the tight end out back door, just unable to connect. Right idea, the execution just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, linebacker Isaac Stopke, really nice play there. We've seen him make some plays in the run game. Now we see him there in the passing game. Kind of a do-it-all linebacker there for the Stars.
Both defenses looking very strong to start off this game, and here's a very impressive punt back all the way down to about the 18-yard line, so it'll be a long field now for the Stars. 8:17 to go in the second quarter, knotted up at 3. In 2018, more than 10,000 high schools, middle schools, and youth organizations enrolled in USA Football's Heads Up football program. The nationally renowned program takes a comprehensive approach to a better and safer game, covering player safety and football fundamentals for high schools, middle schools, and youth leagues. You can enroll your program at usafootball.com/headsup. Talking about earlier in game number 2 with Pop's game getting safer. Well, one of the cool features about this third game today is the Dell Insight technology. They actually have helmets for both of these squads, are measuring collisions perhaps like that one.
That was a stick. Jaden Pritchett, the defensive back from Hollister, California. My, oh my, he came up and absolutely laid the wood on Isaiah Areola.
Hollister, huh? Zach, you're still in your Hollister wearing phase, aren't you?
You know, it's funny that great minds think alike. I was trying to think of how I could bring up the Hollister clothing brand.
Well, you got that seashell necklace on.
Color,
I mean, you're really doing it big.
You know, I never really wore a ton of Hollister, I must say.
Really? You're an Abercrombie and Fitch guy?
I was too fat to fit into Hollister.
Really?
As a big lineman myself, you know.
Go to the big and tall.
DeAndre Carter and I, we have similar problems.
Yeah, I'm not sure DeAndre Carter's rocking too much Hollister.
Do you see him there on your screen?
The stop brings up 3rd down and 8 on the 22-yard line, and here's again more pressure from that defensive line. Throws a 50-50 ball, goes over everyone's head.
Yeah,
4th down.
I think Kalen Davis was sort of anticipating the pressure there. They actually had a relatively good pocket there for him that he could have stepped up into.
Sets his feet,
keep scanning the field, find the open guy. He got a little bit of happy feet there, and wasn't sure if he wanted to take off, and then he decided, let's throw it, and he was just totally off balance when he did it.
So Stars will punt again.
Quite frankly, that was an ugly-looking pass.
Yeah, well, you said it. We thought it.
This one's going to roll all the way to the 38-yard line, so it takes a very favorable bounce for the Stars. And the Stripes coming back out. Both defenses suffocating so far.
Yeah, really getting the job done. It's been a common theme for the most part. Especially early on in these games, the defenses usually find their footing early, and then it takes a little while for these offenses to get going, which makes sense. You've only had 4 days to prepare. Offenses are a little bit more intricate, and like I said, only having 4 days to – I mean, as an offensive line, the best offensive lines in football are offensive lines that have continuity. They've played together. These guys have only known each other for about 5 minutes.
Or 5 days, but fine.
First down and 10. Here comes Strong looking for the deep ball and overthrows everyone for an incompletion.
Just trying to get that long ball down the sideline. But, a lot of that also is both these teams have some really good front sevens. The defensive lines are dominating up front. We've seen the speed at linebacker. We've already highlighted Mesa, who at the safety spot but can come up and play like a linebacker in the box.
Total beast.
A lot of talent for both of these defenses. Here comes a run now for the Stripes. Able to cut it back toward the middle. Picks up about 5.
Really nice job on the left side of that Stripes offensive line. Opened up a massive hole there. But the speed, the closing speed of that Stars defense made what would have been a first down type play. Only a 5-yard play, but now it's 3rd and manageable here for the Stripes.
Well, it's JT Foreman on the carry. 3rd down and 5 on their own 43. Tied at 3, 6:20 to go. The throw behind will be incomplete.
Oh, that was close, being a fumble. Aiden Fortenberry, Clovis, California kid, almost scoop and score. We know Fortenberry's an absolute baller. That was close. How about those helmets, though? When you get that up-close look right there, that American flag waving in the wind on those, they just pop right off that matte white helmet.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of these uniforms. The all-whites, the all-blacks, very clean look. And both helmets are pretty sick.
So a high punt, plenty of hang time, fielded at around the 38-yard line. So again, the Stars will have good field position. Both teams have had some quality field position, but haven't really been able to convert. Knotted up at 3 apiece, 6:08 to go in the second quarter.
So we got Braden Dorman coming back out at quarterback for the Stars for this series. See how he fares.
Colorado Springs quarterback looking to get his team into the end zone for the first time this afternoon.
They got Marquise Hill isolated up top, obviously going with the run instead.
It's a big run, trying to cut back toward that sideline, does so, has a couple of blocks all the way to the 20, 15, 10, is being chased from behind and carries them in for the touchdown.
Wow.
Jalen Davenport, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, wow, wow. Jaden Davenport, how he stayed in bounds was remarkable, but what about the block from Marquise
That's
Hill?
what I was thinking, man. Really, really nice job when you got your receivers blocking downfield. And you got a running back like Davenport that's just shaking off tacklers left and right. Great balance, great vision, stays in bounds along the sideline, and he's got the speed to make it a house call.
The kick is right down the middle, so the first touchdown of the game comes with 5:55 to go, and it's a 7-point lead for the Stars. The touchdown run by Spanaway Washington own Jalen Davenport. Great coaches are always learning. USA Football makes it easy to lift your knowledge and your team. Click Development and Training at usafootball.com and see what coaches are talking about. Again, that's Development Training at usafootball.com. So that's the explosive play we'd been waiting for in this first half of action. We see a lot of skilled players on both these squads, and that's the first time the defense has really buckled on either squad.
Yeah, without a doubt, the biggest play we've seen, and probably my favorite run. And we had in the previous game a pair of running backs that were just trying to one-up each other up and down the field in terms of touchdown runs. But that one right there, when you talk about speed, vision, strength to finish, and then also having some great blocking from your teammates downfield, was great.
Trying for a quick pass right around the 30-yard line. Incomplete. Isaac Gatewood, the intended receiver.
Yeah, I think Strong sets his feet there a little bit better. That ball probably comes out a little bit nicer and doesn't head right to the turf. Get that ball up a little bit, give your guy a shot.
Second and 10. It's a handoff, try to cut it back in the middle. Picks up maybe about one. Jaden Lindsay from McKinney, Texas with the carry.
Really nice job there in the interior of that defensive line. Matthew Connors, big number 98 out of Oregon, just manhandling his offensive lineman and forced the running back to practically run right into the back of his right guard. And that's all thanks to big Matthew Connors, just being disruptive.
Brings up 3rd and 9. Strong gets the snap, a quick little in route and a nice move, and brought down at the 39. Gavin Jenkins with the pitch and catch gets a first down.
Just a quick job there, get the ball out of your hands, get it out there.
Gilkey does a nice job on these timing routes to his left. That ball comes flying out of there beautifully. He sets his feet, he knows exactly where he wants to go. He's deliberate with everything on those plays, and I like it.
Gilkey again. That one goes up high. Just deflected out of bounds.
Had a lot of mustard on that ball. You could hear it just clap right off the hands of Elijah Wilson, the wide receiver. But, that's a great observation. Gilkey certainly does. And as a right-hander, throwing to the left side of the field naturally is just a little bit easier. but he really has had all of his success throwing to that left side of the field.
Yeah, especially on those timing routes, those out routes. He's got a really strong arm. He gets the ball, he puts it on him. And when he sets his feet, that ball spins out of there beautifully.
This one goes over the head of Gilkey, tries to pick it up. And we'll lose a few extra yards down back at, looks like they're going to roll them down at around the 20.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous, a situation like that where you got 4 Stars white jerseys just hovering to dive on that football. That's one, don't try and pick it up. You just need to fall on the ball.
Right there, you didn't see it on the screen, but Gilkey went up to his center and gave him a pat on the helmet and said something to him, and then went back into the huddle. But again, that's what you saw that from Strong earlier in the game, and now you see it from Gilkey going up and patting his center on the helmet saying, hey, it's okay. Brings up a 3rd down and 17, though.
It's the leadership you want to see from your quarterback, certainly.
So again, the out route to the left, able to pick up 10 yards. That will bring up 4th and about 19.
Yeah, it's really all you can do there if you're an offense. You're backed up in your own territory. It's 3rd and long. Not likely you're going to get the first down. Let's just try to pick up some yards and play that field position game once again.
And at this point, that Stripes offense just needs a spark. They just seem a little bit lifeless. Nothing's really working. They seem out of sync. There's not a whole lot of cohesion working for them at all. They just need somebody to make a play to just breathe a little bit of life into their offense right now.
Yeah, who's going to be there? Jalen Davenport. We've seen Davenport step up huge in a big way in this first half for the Stars. Who's going to be that guy for the Stripes offensively?
So the Stars will get it at the 30-yard line. Like you said, Davenport providing the spark. Got that last touchdown to give them the lead. 4:19 to go. Both teams with all 3 timeouts in the first half of action.
And the Stripes have some guys that can step up. I mean, at wideout, we know they got Chris Rice out of Colorado Springs, absolute stud. Jaden Lindsay at the running back position out of McKinney, Texas. I mean, they got a couple of guys that can spark that offense. They just need to get it going.
Here we go on 1st down. The quarterback is keeping it. Gets out to about the 42.
Davis has proven, he's a runner, and he can run the ball very effectively at the quarterback position. It's as a passer where I'd like to see him get tested and show his ability and skill set a little bit more.
Yeah, he had big 91 Austin Nash from that defensive line of the
and
Stripes.
Now they're going Wildcat here, Eric. Davis is spread out wide.
Oh, I like it. Look at that
Run
block.
it to the outside, gets past midfield, and a nice pickup there.
Really good lead block there from Davenport. We talk about him as a runner, but the dude just does all the little things right. He's a detail-oriented kind of player. You can tell when you watch him for just 5 minutes of practice, and right there does a really, really nice job getting that seal block on the outside, allowing for a nice gain and a first down.
And a creative play call there, just getting James Madison in the game at that Wildcat quarterback spot, just a direct snap, let him run off the edge.
So another first down, a quick wide receiver screen, able to break out of one tackle, trying to break out of the other, and then here comes a plethora of black jerseys to bring him down, picks up about 7.
Sebastian Terrace came up and laid down a nice smack there on Bryson Cornelius, but he's able to shake him off, pick up a couple extra yards.
Davis takes the snap, hands it off. And it'll be a loss of 1 or 2 as that time Blake Dean with the handoff.
Davy Pombo III with another brilliant tackle.
There's a flag down on the field.
What was that, flag number 4?
It is. All right, so we're about halfway.
There, I mean, we're matching that quota, but that is just such a fierce interior there with Pombo the third and Carter inside. Good luck running through the teeth of that defensive front.
Yeah, well, when Jalen Davenport's in the backfield, he can pretty much run through anything.
So it was personal foul called on the Stars.
Oh, that'll kill you. 3rd and a mile now, boys. Another one of those situations, I would imagine they'd probably get a little bit conservative here. Do they do a quarterback draw, maybe a little screen pass, something short, pick up some yardage, but probably not looking for the whole thing here.
Brings up 3rd and 19. Timeout for the Stars with 2:51 to go, up 10-3.
Yeah, don't want to do anything too crazy here. You got the lead. The half is winding down. The momentum's really been on your side thanks to Jalen Davenport and some fantastic blocking by that Stripes offensive line, or excuse me, that Stars offensive line.
And their defense has been suffocating.
Defense has been unbelievable. And so let's go ahead and trust the defense, probably try to pick up a few yards here, maybe get some of that yardage back, but probably going to send the punt team out right after that and pin the Stripes back as far as they can. And once again, trust that defense that's been so dominant.
Yeah, you probably go with a safe call here, maybe a screen, draw play, just a direct handoff.
Quarterback design run,
Yep,
something like that.
Yep.
3rd and 19 on their own 41. 2 timeouts left now for the Stars, up by 7.
You never know, though. The fact that they took a timeout in that scenario, maybe they're going to try something tricky.
There we go. Davis back in the shotgun. Takes the snap, and it's going to be a bit of a screen. Trying to find some blockers upfield. Will pick up maybe 3 or 4 yards.
Goodness, there's that other defensive end, Joshua Santos, excuse me. I don't know why I thought that S was an S.
Yeah, really not sure why you went there, but
Santos.
shout out to the Santoses. They
Made
got
a heck
themselves
of a play.
a stud football player in the family.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it makes him look a little bit small when he's next to the guys like Carter, these big freak shows down there. But Santos has some size, too, and high motor. He's been great off the edge for the Stripes today.
Stripes used their first timeout. Stop the clock at 2:34. USA Football's 2019 National Conference with speaker tracks for high school and youth football coaches delivers insight to lift your program. Hear college and NFL coaches, leaders in athlete health, and other experts in Orlando from February 22nd to 24th. Early bid rates open at usafootball.com. 4th down at 13. Bring out the punting unit. This one will be fielded at around the 30. So again, the Stripes looking to find the end zone for the first time today. 2:28 on the clock and 2 timeouts left, down by 7.
Let's see who's going to be that guy to step up for that Stripes offense. We mentioned guys like Jaden Lindsey, Chris Rice. These guys are beasts on that offensive side of the ball, and really no better time than now to step up and make a big play.
Heard or seen much from Chris Rice. And now that you bring him up, that might be the first time we've talked about him today. And
that's true.
Gilkey will stay out there at Q.
I mean, Rice is their biggest guy at the receiver spot, tall, long.
Pick up a few yards there on the quick pass.
Really good possession kind of receiver. Got that Keyshawn Johnson sort of vibe to him a little bit. But, yeah, he's been held quiet here in this first half.
And with the huddle, not a ton of urgency here as we've moved past the 2-minute mark here in the half. You do have 2 timeouts to work with, so if you get a play down the field, you're all right.
See if Gilkey can make a play. I mean, that's his throw right there. That's his best. That 7 to 10 yard out route to the left is where Gilkey's just been money. And the Stars have just been giving it to him, which at this point in the game,
I think you'll take that if you're the Stars defense.
No question.
Brings up 3rd and about 4. Under 90 seconds left now. And so now we'll get a timeout from the Stars. So they have 1 timeout remaining. Stop the clock at 1:21.
Yeah, this is a big third down stop for both teams right now, because if the Stars can get the stop here, they get the ball back with still over a minute left, one timeout, and plenty of momentum to see if they can go tack on a few more points here. And obviously, if you're the Stripes, you're just looking to move the chains and get some sort of momentum going. Whether or not you finish the drive off with a score, just get some sort of offensive confidence going into halftime. It would go a long way for the Stripes, I would think. So really big play here. I like the timeout call out of the Stars.
Yeah, Stripes really haven't been able to move the chains too much in this first half. They got that field goal to start off the game. Since then, it's been a whole lot of punting for this Stripes team. And it's been the one big run from Jalen Davenport. Put the lone touchdown up on the board, but both these defenses going strike for strike.
Let's see what the Stripes draw up here. Big third down.
Yeah, it is. And, there's still a lot of football left. It's only one possession difference here, so you don't want to ever oversell this 3rd and 4, but if they can move the chains.
Uh-oh.
Big hit. Didn't blow it dead. It's a fumble. Picked up at the 10, recovered at the 10, rather.
Gosh, thank God for the speed of Jaden Lindsay here. That was an easy Stars defensive touchdown.
He was hauling.
The fastest human being I've ever seen.
My goodness, he was hauling for that ball. There was nobody else other than Jalen Lindsay there for the Stripes.
Just
he
saved
made
his
sure
team a touchdown.
that he was the one that fell on that ball.
It's about him in 6 white jerseys in pursuit.
He found, he might have originally only had a 3rd gear. He found a 4th gear.
Yeah,
to
he
get that
figured it out.
football.
He breached a whole new speed zone there, man. That was incredible. And the effort. Gotta love the attitude and effort out of a guy like that. One of your star players. Easy to just say, oh, throw your hands up and let the defense get the ball, whatever.
But
Nope.
I don't like the call necessarily there, because clearly the play was designed immediately, for Gilkey's first read to be over to which side?
The right.
The right side.
He's been best to the
and
left.
He's been best to the left.
He hasn't had any success on the right so
That's
far.
something we're going to have to talk to Pops about.
Yeah, and they had Gerlach out there at the bottom of the offense, out wide, solo, one-on-one matchup, and he's been winning that out route matchup all game long. And I thought they were going to go back to it right there. Hit the sideline, stop the clock, move the chains, but they decided against it. And big 75, holy smokes, Grayson.
And now this snap goes over the punter's head.
Luckily, there's no
Walker
rush, so
Davis.
You're okay.
He was able to keep it in bounds, too. And now, very good field position for the Stars with 67 seconds left. They do have one timeout. They get it right around the 30-yard line.
Well, you'd think you pick up, 10 yards? At minimum, you'll come away with 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, just a disaster there for the Stripes. The last thing that they wanted to have happen is a major sack fumble or any turnover for that matter. And now they got the defense backs up against the wall, down a touchdown, a minute left to go. All the momentum on the Stars side.
Dorman in at quarterback. 1st and 10 on the 32-yard line. Takes a big hit, throws it to the end zone, and is caught. James Madison with the touchdown grab.
That was big time. And
Wow.
we've been waiting for James Madison's moment, and there it was. Just speed, blew past the entire secondary, a good ball, and the quick strike.
How about Dorman stepping up in the face of major pressure? He had big number 75. Was that Grayson Gaddy all up in his grill? Still stepped up, made the throw, and I think Jaden Pritchett just got lost there in the secondary.
Kicks right down the middle, so it took 7 seconds to put 7 points up on the board. They are now up by 14 with a minute left.
That's exactly how you want to close out a half if you're the Stars. Big defensive play, turn around, and couple that with a massive offensive touchdown, and all the confidence now on the Stars side.
So Stripes looking just for some sort of response, maybe try and get a first down.
Let's chuck some balls down the field, huh? Why not?
Yeah, let's let Gilkey
Let's
let it rip.
Let's let our receivers try and go up there and catch the football.
It'd be nice if you could give Gilkey a little bit of time. It looks like they're rolling out
Well, what
Mr.
you
Jake
need to do
Strong.
is roll out to your left, allow him to set his feet if you can, and try and fire off a pass to Rice.
So Strong rolling
They
to
do
his
move the
right,
pocket
now
for
cuts
him.
back, is
That's Strong.
chased down, a flag is down.
They put Strong in. Those are the two that have been rotating in and out.
Got more laundry on the field. Doesn't make me feel good about my 8 flag prediction.
It's number 5 now.
Nope, we're on pace for me to lose, boys. I need a cleaner second half.
So hold, penalty is declined, bring up second down and long.
Now, if the penalty's declined, does
Still
it?
a penalty.
All right.
There was a flag on the field. I'm not letting you get away with this one that easy.
Yeah, no, clearly.
I was ready to give it to
out
you.
for
Yeah,
vengeance.
Nick,
I know,
Nick
Nick was ready to
hey, you
cave
get a
in.
car. You get a car. All right, Oprah, come on.
I want the blue one, Nick.
Second down and 14, back to the original line.
Seems like the Stripes are content to kind of just let this one
Yeah, we don't need any more disasters.
run on down, and let's go ahead and go back to the drawing board, come on out, and have a cleaner 20 minutes of football in the second half.
24.
Is it 12 minutes?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep. Know your ball. Know your
10, it
ball.
was 10 minutes in the previous game.
Yeah, and the previous game before that, but the big dogs.
They get an extra
48.
2
Big
minutes.
dogs get 12.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for the first 24 minutes of action. 17-3 in favor of the Stars. We'll be right back. Coming up on the other side of the break, we'll have Mr. Chiafalo back down on the field. And again, we'll be joined up here in the booth by Pops and bring us some more insight on some of these tremendous athletes and some of these giants that are out on the field. Stay with us here as they're watching the 2019 Texas Classic on Game On Sports.
Field as a classroom and matchbox as guidelines. We see teammates becoming friends, friends becoming brothers. We see moms and dads standing tall as the kids dig deeper. We hear laughter and lectures, pads popping, praises sung through a face mask, echoing over proving grounds. Where character grows stronger and lessons last a lifetime. But we also feel the power of teamwork and the magic of mutual goals. We feel the emotions of triumph and loss, the development and growth of team. And that's why we do what we must. To certified coaches are trained. To verify safety measures are taken. Testify about the values of the game. To strive relentlessly to satisfy every player and coach's desire to be better. We are caretakers of playing fields that yield enriched lives. Teachers and protectors of an American tradition. It is a responsibility we all take seriously, a challenge we all must embrace. Because we are forever football.
To me, it has nothing to do with what level you're playing at. This is just the right way to tackle, and we really think that we're seeing the future of football.
Right foot, and boom! You would have a hand ready, eyes to the thighs, and make sure our eyes are looking up.
What we've achieved here really is a landmark moment. The idea that the NFL, Pete Carroll and Rocky Sett and the Seahawks all come together to ensure that there's going to be consistent technique and consistent terminology taught through the shoulder tackling system.
We believe in shoulder contact here, and we think that we have ways that we would like to share with you that might help your game. I think because of maybe some of the naming,
heads up and hawk, people fail to realize that the actual fundamental principle was we wanted to tackle with our shoulders.
If this system didn't work on the field, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
This is where the game is going, and we want to make sure that we're working as best we can to solidify this game for the future.
You know, it's one of those things now where we're in our 50s and we've been through this. And oh, sorry, I'm in my 50s. I married her really young. She's in her 30s.
I mean, I think the most important thing is that you kids play sports for the right reasons.
You know, sports has always been a part of my life with my two brothers and my father coaching us in just about everything.
Your motto and your athlete's motto should be to treat others as you want to be treated.
It's kind of like just let the coach coach the kids, just let the coach deal with the officials.
Be the way you want your kids to be.
We can't express how much youth sports help our three kids.
Welcome to USA Football's Virtual Parents Clinic. My husband Mike and I want to share what we've learned both through our own experience and talking to football parents across the United States.
You already know Team USA out here, bro. Team USA, we out here giving back to our community. You feel me? It's the only way to do it.
I am so grateful to have this group of young men here today from USA Football. They are here engaging with our students.
USA! USA! USA!
We got dance parties going on, we got competition, everybody's warming up to us, we're having fun, we love the whole group, they love us.
Hi! Hi, mommy, dad! We love the kids! We love people! We love all people! Hey! 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 Spread the love! We should spread the love! He's gonna be on my side!
Y'all are our future, and I look around and you guys are gonna be off in college, off in careers in just a few years. Maybe some of y'all are going to play professional football, but you guys are the ones that are going to be in charge of our communities to come. And you guys are the ones that are going to have the opportunity to interact and to hire people that have intellectual disabilities.
Nice meeting you guys. We're gonna miss you, best friend.
Y'all two, we'll just bring you.
Yeah, y'all two right there.
No, you. Yeah, come on, you good. You gonna be right here, and we gonna send it back. Or the strongest person needs to be in the back. Yeah.
Well, today USA Football gave us the opportunity to come out here and help the local food and toy bank.
These young people that we're real proud of are unloading Christmas toys that we're getting ready for the Christmas store for 2019.
I think it's actually helping in a lot of ways. Like, we're working together as a team off the field.
We've been able to talk to everybody and really just grow as a family through the process, not only on the field, but off the field.
The coach has been telling us it's good for the soul. I mean, it's a good feeling knowing that you're being a part of something, bigger than yourself.
Hey guys, thank you very, very much, y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
to Frisco, Texas. We have a few minutes. Welcome back to Frisco, Texas. We are getting ready for the second half of action. We're now joined by Pops back up in the booth, but Mr. Chiafalo is back down on the field with another spectacular player in the first half. We'll go ahead and toss it down to Eric. What's it like down there?
Out of California, Rockland, California. He tells me it's the only place in California that doesn't have beaches. So not the California you and I think of. But Christian, great to have you here, man. And you're a longtime USA footballer. What's the experience been like for you the last 4 years? You've been doing this since 5th grade. What's the overall experience been like for you in USA football?
People have been very welcoming. They've always accepted me as tight end. They've never been shutting me down because I'm not that position. So it's been pretty good.
Very nice. Now 2019, it's been a great weekend so far. USA football, you guys have been here for the last few days. What's been special about this year?
This year is special to me because it's my last year I'll be able to play, and I'm glad this year they use tight ends as tight ends and not linemen or receivers. They use them as a mixture. So we go out for passes and we stay back and block.
Heck yeah, show off those soft hands, that running ability. I know you can block your tail off as well. Is there a guy in the NFL, somebody you model your game after, somebody you like very much?
I model my game after Jason Witten. Jason Witten's one of the best tight ends I've ever known, other than Rob Gronkowski, but we know about Gronk.
Heck yeah, Jason Witten. Hey, that's a great answer. Down here in Frisco, you're in Jason Witten's house. I know you've seen all the murals of him all throughout the Star here in Frisco. Now, you're a California kid. I know they got great food there. Have you had a chance to get yourself some Texas barbecue, maybe a little Tex-Mex?
Not yet, but tonight we are.
Grubbing hard tonight?
Yep.
All right, very good. That's Christian Ingman, ladies and gentlemen. Back to you up in the booth.
Heck yeah, Christian. Jason Witten, my man. And you know what? It's hilarious that Eric Chiafalo is the one interviewing Christian because I am a Jason Witten supporter through and through.
Yeah. Well, a little bit earlier, he was bad-mouthing
Yes,
Witten.
Eric has had not so great things to say about Jason Witten's return to the Dallas Cowboys. We will fight over that with hand and fist later on, but Christian, a great player to model your game after. And we got Al Pops back up with us, and Al, you see Christian down there, and I imagine watching some of these kids, we were joking about this in the previous game, you got to be almost like a proud father with how well you know these guys and seeing them, especially one like Christian who's grown up with you guys since 5th grade up to now.
Right. A lot of these kids I follow on social media, just keep in touch with them, see how they're doing throughout the year. About a month or so ago, Christian made a post on Twitter that kind of just threw me for a loop and made me feel really old. He posted every picture from a USA football event that he's been to. So the regionals the last 4 years, the middle school bowl games, the international bowl. And it's just crazy to see not only physically how he's grown and matured, but also that he's been in the program for that long and keeps coming back because of what he gets from it.
So his comments there, talking about tight ends and this year how, the use of tight end, has that been a position that's kind of evolved with how it's been utilized in USA football?
No, I mean, we've spoken about it in the previous games. We leave it up to the coaches that we bring in to kind of install their offense, use the players as they see fit. And this year, Christian has now grown to about 6'3", 185, 190 pounds, and I see him on social all the time working out. But I think he's put himself in the position to not only be a blocker, but also he's improved athletically enough to go out in those routes and find balls coming his way out in the passing tree.
Now, I think one of the things we were talking about in the halftime, we got a couple of really big players in this game today, but you said even the biggest players in this program aren't even here today, and that just blows my mind because a couple of these kids down here are massive.
Yeah, we got a couple 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", a couple kids that are 6'2" down there.
That are 15?
That are 14, 15,
Jeez.
going to be freshmen in the fall. We got some bigger guys out there as well. DeAndre Carter, number 90 on the Stripes team, has an Arizona State offer. We just spoke on the sidelines. I was down there. Brennan Storr, who's going to be a freshman as well, is an alumni of the program, local Dallas kid, also has an offer. So we're seeing our 8th graders at that elite level where college programs are already looking at them as potential student athletes.
Yeah, Brennan Storr, who was in this game last year, and he was sensational. He's kind of in that Highland Park pipeline. And for those that aren't familiar with Highland Park, John Stephen Jones, the grandson of Jerry Jones, won a state championship a couple years ago. He's now at the University of Arkansas. Chandler Morris, the son of Chad Morris, who's the head coach at Arkansas, just won a state championship with Highland Park last year. He's already committed to go there, and they're the favorites to four-peat as state champs at the 5A level. That is quite the pipeline. And, oh, by the way, there's also a guy by the name of Matthew Stafford that's graduated from Highland Park. So Brennan Storer is in pretty good hands there in that Highland Park pipeline.
You also look at the defensive side for Highland Park. Prince Dorba just making his announcement, committed to the University of Texas. What a beast he has been all 4 years at Highland Park. But, yeah, definitely a good opportunity to have their fourth straight state title at Highland Park. The first play of the second half, about a 7-yard run.
There's Christian actually out there blocking at the tight end position and a little bit of extracurriculars after the play. I mean, one of the things we've noticed that has set the tone in this game above the others is the physicality and the pads popping in this one, and I know that transitioned even to the scrimmage that you guys had on Saturday night.
Yeah, those pads were popping, and those kids, these two teams, I know we're all one country, but right now these kids do not like each other, and it's a great battle. Physical play, I love to see it.
So second down, here's a strong pass in and out of the hands. As Jake Strong is back in at quarterback again from Justin, Texas.
Yeah, and another Texas kid from Jake Strong, and you know, obviously I'm biased. I'm from the state of Texas, but I do believe that this state develops the best quarterbacks in the entire country. I think that's been proven when you look at the NFL landscape and collegiately as well. You know, Jake Strong, one of these kids that, you know, today the Stripes offense has struggled, but he certainly seems like he's got an excellent skill set.
Yeah, Jake's been with us for 3 years as well. He is the best leader that I've seen on the middle school level in all my years, over 10 years of middle school football.
The third down, a big run, gets the first down. J.T. Foreman out of Turlock, California, picks up the first. Seems like always Texas and California at the top of the list at providing some of the best football players throughout the country, and that's been apparent throughout the days. You look down the rosters of all three teams, you typically see a lot of Texas and California. Colorado's been a big one as well, but it's mainly been those two states.
Yeah, they send us a lot of kids. They come to the regionals, and they flat out ball. So, you know, we don't care where you're from, but those states are traditionally powerhouses.
So Strong getting flushed out of the pocket, will throw it away, bring it second down. Talking about the physicality of these two teams, and well, something that I believe you guys are doing for the first time, at least at this age group. You guys have some interesting technology in the helmets for this game.
Yeah, Riddell, one of our major sponsors here, all these kids in this game are using the Riddell Insight technology. So it's technology that's laced inside their helmet, which tells us the impact, how often, how hard of an impact it is, and it's all geared towards researching the game, researching the equipment, making everything safer and better. So we can monitor if a kid gets hit, you know, not anymore. It's not, oh, we got his bell rung. We can see what the situation is.
Well, Strong got hit hard there. And that technology, something that you maybe go back 5-10 years ago, that's technology that you wouldn't even thought of or heard of in the game of football. And now you're getting to use it here at this U15 game, and that's really cool. It's the first time, of course, using it at this level, but you guys use it a lot at other high school events, though, correct?
Right, at our International Bowl in January, it's at AT&T Stadium when we get other countries come in, you know, Japan, France, Panama's been, all the Canadian provinces, Mexico. We put that technology in all the helmets there because it helps us keep the kids safe and also, again, leads to research and making everything better for everyone.
Definitely very exciting technology we get to use here today and for really the entire sport of football. Here's a third down and 18. Strong with a pass will be ruled incomplete, bring up a fourth down.
The amount of pressure that this Stars team has just been bearing down, you know, it doesn't matter what quarterback's in the game for the Stripes, there is just absolutely zero time back there to look downfield. The running game has really been dismantled. I mean, this front seven has been absolutely sensational for the Stars here today. And another punt situation for the Stripes.
I think that's been a theme, and, you know, feel free to disagree with me, but I think it's been a theme that the D-line play has shined in all three of the games, all six teams.
No, I do. I absolutely do agree with you. I do have some things that I want to bring up, though. whenever we get Gilkey back in the game at quarterback.
Is it his nice long hair, those golden
Well,
locks?
Eric does love his golden locks, but to me, it's really it's he struggles to throw to the opposite side of the field. To his far. He's a right-handed quarterback, so clearly to his left, he's delivered some beautiful balls. But I don't think he's completed a pass going to his right side. Now, a lot of that's not all his fault. He hasn't had a lot of time.
Exactly.
So I'm not trying to absolutely just say, hey, Gilkey. No, he clearly has a lot of talent, and he's a good kid. But it's just when you see players like that, I mean, is that something that's just this game, or do you notice certain trends with these players that you try and work out of?
You notice certain things for sure. The one thing with Gilkey, though, that kid is so well balanced. I think we've seen him make a lot of great throws. I also think we've seen him keep the ball and also, live to play another day in a couple situations as well. So yes, there's obviously no player is ever complete, but I think they're doing a great job of getting these kids equal amount of reps and a lot of playing time, and just really helping their teams in any way they can.
Now the quarterback out there now in Davis, a Denton kid. We've had a lot of good quarterbacks come. Oh, look at this trick play.
Well, that's definitely pretty interesting. The first time we've really seen something like that.
Davis, nicknamed K5. He came to our Dallas regional. He was with us. He's been with us for 3 years now as well. His dad played some D1 football. He's got a bright future as well. He really took over that scrimmage the other night. That's one kid that I think really shined in the scrimmage. Everything he did was perfect on Saturday rather.
That was a nice ball right there. Just a good job coming in there and breaking that up from John Reed. A pass intended for Jaquin Johnson over on that side. But for Davis, do you know, Denton, we've got 3 big high schools there. Do you know if he's, a Geyer or a Denton Ryan, necessarily what high school he would go to?
I believe he's a Denton Ryan guy. I saw his father was walking around a little bit with a Denton Ryan T-shirt on. So.
All right, so he's a Ryan kid. And they certainly, Coach Dave Hennigan over there. I called some football games for Denton ISD. Spencer Sanders most recently coming out of Denton Ryan, one of the best high school quarterbacks that I've had the privilege of watching now at Oklahoma State. He'll be in good hands there with Coach Hennigan in that offensive system. And, another Denton kid, he's standing right next to him. We were talking about Marquise Hill at wide receiver. And that is a big-bodied individual, sir. What can you tell us about Marquise Hill?
I can tell you that those two are like brothers. Everything they do together, whether it be just going to the field and throwing, or 7-on-7, whatever they do, those kids are connected at the hip. And the first game, or the first touchdown pass he threw during the scrimmage was a long bomb to him. So it's great to see the chemistry that they developed. The 11 and a half months out of the year, they put it together here in these 2 weeks.
Yeah. And Eric and I were talking about Hill in that body frame, as he gets older. It wouldn't surprise either of us if he maybe made that transition to tight end. I mean, is that something that maybe USA football, watching him, that you could see that as well?
I don't know. I love him right now on the outside as a big body receiver. You get him in the red zone, he's a target. He's a mismatch. He's physical. I mean, there's not much I could say that I'm not pleased with. The speed, that can always improve, right? Everybody wants to be faster. But inside the red zone, I mean, man, he could be magic for you.
You'll have Gilkey coming back out. So we'll see if they go back to that right side. 1st and 10 on the 22, down by 14. Instead, it's going to be a handoff right up the middle. Gets a big hole, good blocking in front, down to about the 37-yard line.
Best job we've seen from the Stripes offensive line. They got hat on a hat. Great job there, creating some running lane to work with there for Foreman. And he went ahead and good vision there to hit the hole, move the chains for a first down. And that's really what the Stripes offense needs. They just need some kind of positive momentum. They've played a lot behind the chains. The down and distance has not been their friend. There you go, a good play on first down.
Bit of a high snap. Gilkey able to bring it in. Kind of disrupts the running game. Falling forward for maybe a yard or two. Move the pile forward.
Now, Pops, we were talking, before we started here in the third quarter, and what goes into this, you don't get all these kids together often. So you've got this bowl series, you got the International Bowl in January, as you talked about. Logistically, what kind of goes into getting all these kids from all kinds of parts of the country together?
Man, people see the finished product, right, of practice week all week and then the game. They see the finished product, but it's a process. It is we're not a camp. We're not a camp series. What we are is we're a program. So we start in the regionals, right? We have 18 regionals, March through May, 2-day non-contact camp or non-contact event, I should say. We don't like the camp word. Where we bring these guys in. We bring in college coaches to put these guys through skills and drills, 7-on-7, 1-on-1, inside run drills. And we evaluate these guys. And there's a lot of kids. Nice completion. Oh. There's a lot of kids.
Pass over there to the opposite side of the field. That should have been a completion.
There's a lot of kids who want to be in these 50 players' shoes. So we have to dwindle down that pool to really get the best of the best. And it is a 6, 7, 8 month process. And then you tack on International Bowl. This is a year-round operation. There's no, next month we'll really start to rev it up. If you're not revving it up full time and making everything great for these athletes, you're doing it wrong.
So what's it like when you have the International Bowl? I believe next year, you said it's in January, but you said all the countries come to us here at AT&T Stadium. What is it like having all these different countries coming in and getting to kind of meet and talk with them?
I can't put into words just how cool it is to see the Japanese athletes specifically come over and just their jaws drop at, one, the size of AT&T Stadium. I think that happens to anybody.
Yeah.
But two, just the experience, man. I mean, imagine coming hours on an airplane to a country you probably have never been to before and getting to play in an event the magnitude of International Bowl. Like, I don't know, it leaves me speechless, and I've done it for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine a 17-year-old athlete from Japan coming here and experiencing it.
The first down, a quick wide receiver screen, makes a couple of men miss, looking for a couple of blocks. Gets about 4. It's a good play right there by Madison. The second had a big touchdown catch there in the second quarter.
He's a special guy, man. He came to our Dallas Regional, was calling Missouri home, came to our Dallas Regional. It's now actually going to be moving to South Florida here in the next year to South Florida, another football hotbed, right?
Absolutely.
So he's going to be headed down there to kind of experience what football is like down there.
Handoff again up the middle. Picks up a few more. It'd be third down and short. And we were also, again, talking about the big size that a lot of these players have. You were saying if everything goes right, the average defensive line or offensive line size is going to be, what, 6'5"?
Yeah, our offensive line, if we get the kids that we would like to have on that U16 team or who looks like they have the ability to, we're looking at, this will be a majority freshman averaging about 6'5", 290 across the front on our offensive line. So we're going to make a lot of quarterbacks and running backs happy people.
So third down and 3, play action, big hit, and sent down.
Oh, my.
Was Dorman.
Evan Keefe.
Dorman's not an easy quarterback to knock down. I mean, I've seen him in practice all week. He's every bit of 6 foot. He's every bit of 185 pounds. He's a solid kid. He got knocked over there. I mean, granted, he was off balance a little bit, but that's a lot. That's a big human to knock down.
That was a brilliant play there by Keefe to come in and just basically put his body weight on Dorman, who's made some nice plays. Now, we were talking this morning with you and AI about the possibility of football at some form being into the Olympics,
right,
which I think is super exciting.
Right.
Hasn't happened before.
Yep.
So, what insight can you give us on that?
Yeah, I know that it's going to happen. Coach AI will be the first one to say he'll cut off his pinky and write it in blood on the wall somewhere, that it will happen. 2024 or at the latest 2028. It's a little bit higher up on the totem pole than I get privy to, but
we need to get you up there.
Yeah.
That exclusive.
If my bosses are listening. No, but for real, they've had discussions with LA because that's where it's going to be in the future, and they're taking the steps, and some kind of football will be there. And that's great because that proves internationally how this game, American football, is growing.
Yes. And so who's the biggest competition so far when you have these international bowls? Who's the biggest threat to the USA year in and year out? A good run there on the outside, picks up about 7.
No, it's interesting. We were talking before I hopped on here. Both Mexico and Canada are great football countries. Canada obviously has all the provinces. It's very big. Those guys have been playing football for a while. A lot of those big lumberjack-looking guys, they end up at the North Dakota States of the world, and obviously that's good football. Look at the athletes they turn out. Yep. And what people don't understand is Mexico also has great older teams, and the UT San Antonios of the world, the Incarnate Word of the world, get a lot of those kids.
2nd down and 5, going deep, has a man opened and is caught to the end zone. Touchdown. Jaden Lindsay with the reception and the first touchdown on the board for the Stripes.
That was a beautiful ball by Jake Strong. Again, I can't sing Jake Strong's praises enough as a kid and as a football player. He put that ball exactly where it needed to be.
And not only that, an excellent job of going through his progressions. He had Elijah Wilson wide open over the middle on a slant. He didn't take it. He knew he had the long ball on the opposite end. He trusted his arm, made the throw, in stride. Beautiful play by Jake Strong, and that is exactly what the Stripes needed to get back into this game.
So looking at Jake Strong from Justin, Texas, will he be going to Northwest High School?
That would sound right, yeah.
I believe so. That one is good. So it's back to a touchdown game, and I tell you, the Texans have had a couple of good seasons the past few years.
It's a fun offense, too.
You guys asked me, or Eric did prior to the game, what should I expect in this game? I said it's going to be a slug fight, and it's going to be a mixture of what we saw in the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but
pat yourself on the back.
Appreciate that.
There we go.
Job, Pops.
Appreciate that, guys, because this is exactly it. That first game, right, started off slow, a lot of defense. Second game was a shootout at the Old Corral. Yep. This is exactly the middle ground between those two. So I'm happy that they're proving me not to be all that.
One thing we were talking about in the first half of this game is obviously we're talking about the defenses have been spectacular throughout the day. One thing that's kind of stood out has been the linebacker talent throughout all levels, and this one's a nice run up the middle for about 13. But the linebacker talent and depth on all 3 teams, or all 3 games rather, has been something really impressive. And you look at the guys maybe with their size, wouldn't think they'd be as fleet of foot. Yes,
the speed has really stood out.
Correct. I think the front 7 and all 6 teams and all 3 games have been phenomenal. This game specifically, you look at the size up front of some of those D linemen, those linebackers are free to scrape and make a lot of tackles.
Oh, almost intercepted. It was a great play from Sebastian Terrace to cut the route. Flag is down on the field.
There's a late flag that came in, and it might be a hold, and that's exactly what it will be against the Stars.
But that was Terrace from, looks like, Lake Orzo, Oregon.
Yeah, he's another athlete who's been with us for a couple of years, has played receiver the last 2 years. He's getting ready to head into high school, so he flipped to the defensive side this year. And obviously he's equally as effective, a starter. And at this youth level, you don't want to specialize on any certain position. Mm-hmm. You don't know what the future is going to hold for you. So seeing these guys play both sides of the ball and being open to playing both sides of the ball year in and year out is interesting and great to see.
1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Handed off up the middle, stumbled. Actually, was brought down by Santos. And again, number 73 doesn't look that big compared to the rest of the line, but he's still a pretty big guy and a very talented guy on that defensive line.
He is the heartbeat of this defense. That kid plays with an unmatched intensity, and I know that sounds like cliche football speak, but he literally plays until he makes himself sick with his high motor and his energy.
And we've seen it here today. This kid's been flying around the field like his hair's on fire. And there you saw the size mismatch. He got kind of eaten up. He tried to go low, and I love that. He gets right up, and he had a great battle there with the offensive tackle, and he just gives him a pat and goes back about his business.
Yeah, big Phil Gallegos, all of 6'5" or 6'6", going against Santos. I mean,
it's a task right there.
It's hard to move a mountain.
That's one thing, again, that's been really a joy to see throughout these 6 games. Like you said, it kind of got eaten up there and didn't look the best, but just gets right back up. There's been mistakes from everyone on all 6 teams, but no one has really let it get to them. We don't see anyone kind of pouting or anything. We've seen some great leadership. And after every bad play, the player just gets right back up and is ready to go for the next one. Something you don't see really a whole lot at players at this age.
Right, and I think also the leadership from the quarterback, specifically on the stripe squad, has really stood out after some errors, some poor snaps. They just go over and a lot of teammate support. And it's funny because, you hear about some of the chippiness that might have gone on with the scrimmages, but, so far through all three of these games, I think the sportsmanship has really been on hand between all these teams.
Once again, that comes from the top down. We bring in Coach AI does not allow, as he calls them, slaps in the program. So we get top-notch coaching. Those guys tell the players this is how it's going to be, and the players respond to it. So that is a direct reflection of the leadership that we have.
A fourth down, here comes another punt. Beautiful. And we've seen some really good special teams throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, that was a nice one. And this is a big drive coming up for the Stripes, down just to score. They have a little bit of momentum on their side. 2:35 to go in the third quarter.
I'm wishing time would slow down. I don't want to leave you guys here in 2:35. It's nice up here.
Well, we just need to get you an extra headset and hang up and enjoy the fourth quarter.
I'd love it, man. I'd love it.
Now, what fascinates me is you mentioned France as one of those countries in the international world. Now, France obviously is known as a soccer nation, but one that they would call a football nation. So is there any football? So is there any kind of this is football or football? Any confusion there?
Well, this will be the first year that they're going to be part of international ball, so we're super excited to obviously get another country in and continue to grow this thing at an international level. We saw it with basketball in the early 90s with that European boom, right? The Tony Kukoc came over and it was the world stopped. And then, we see Dirk Nowitzki now, one of the all-time greats. I mean, guys, there's guys that could play football in other countries as well, okay? It's not just here in America. So we're going to continue to see this thing grow internationally.
On average, how many countries have traveled to AT&T Stadium in the past few years for the International Bowl?
You know what?
There's a big run there. My goodness. Muscling his way through for the first down. JT Foreman. My goodness.
Nick, to answer your question, it varies year to year. There is Canada football, and then there's the different provinces also have a team. So, Saskatchewan has come, Ontario has come. So you can't really put a number on it. It kind of varies year to year. But it doesn't matter. We are excited to get any country to come and match their best against our best.
That's definitely exciting to hear. Adding another country into the mix next year. It'll be a lot of fun.
So there's
coming
no
up next
English
January.
team. England doesn't have a team yet?
To my knowledge, no. I don't know.
Well, you're smiling, but the NFL has made it their business to go over there and play overseas at Wimbledon, and the London Jags are going to be a thing here soon enough. I'm telling you, Jacksonville is going to move to London.
I laugh because I was just thinking in my head, English team, America is speaking English.
Right, okay. No, that makes sense.
That's where my head went.
Second down and 10 on the 47. A minute 23 to go. Bit of a high snap. Here's a long pass, almost intercepted. And that was Ryan Mesa from Toltec, Arizona. Got a hand on it, bring up third down.
Yeah, and he sounds like he's one of your favorites.
He's an absolutely special kid. He's got an older brother who's playing running back at BYU. And Meza was the only middle school kid to win the Gold Ball MVP at one of our regionals this year. That is traditionally, an upperclassman in high school, but as an 8th grader at our Phoenix Regional, our first one of the year, he came back with a Gold Ball MVP.
Another high snap on third down and 10. It's a quick pass. That time completed it on the right side.
Yeah, that was a good job by Gilkey because it was indeed a high snap. He goes up there and gets it, able to set his feet and then rip that ball over there to that far side. So a third down and 10, and you're fringing probably in 4-down territory. Well, it is 4th down and 10 now, and they're going to go ahead and punt this away. Still plenty of time, just a one-possession game, and the Stripes defense has been really, really good outside of that one massive run and then James Madison's touchdown.
Yeah, they've only given up really a couple of big plays, and that's what's been the touchdowns, but for the most part, both defenses have been very strong.
So I love to see one possession game with a minute left in the third quarter. That means the teams are balanced and equal. That means all the kids are playing their hearts out. It's good to see. No quit on either side, and we're in here for the long haul, guys.
So then when you invite these players to this bowl, how do you divide up who's on which team? Is that just kind of a random draw, or is there any kind of equation that goes
Draw
into
names
it?
out of a hat? Or how's that just go?
No, like anything in football, there's a purpose and a reason for everything. So, when the kids go to these regionals, the 18 regionals around the country, they get 3 grades. They get their small group coach gives them a grade, their position coach, their head coach gives them a grade, and the scout that we hire gives them a grade as well. So they get 3 grades. Also, position tangible notes that we then take a look at and evaluate. If there's questions, we go find their huddle. So we gather all that information. We wrap our arms around all that stuff and then send out invitations as they're warranted. And we really do our due diligence in getting the best kids here and making these teams as equal and safe and fun as possible.
So with 25 seconds to go, 2nd down and 10. This one's incomplete, bring up 3rd down.
It's a nice job, though, and we've talked about this previously of running backs coming in and blocking and pass protection. And Davenport peeling off. He had a blitzer free coming off that edge, and he goes in and picks that up, or else his quarterback, Dorman, could have been flat on his back.
You got to be a complete player if you want to play at the next level. And that shows that right there.
So 3rd and 10 on the 25. Stars up by 7. Just about 20 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Going long is broken up. A strong play by Caden Torres. And bring up 4th down.
That was a great football play
Really
all
was.
around.
Really was.
Dorman won the quarterback MVP at our Denver camp. So we know he can play. There's so much talent in this game. It's really hard to even wrap your mind around.
And we were talking about, we saw a big difference between the 9 a.m. and the noon game. And again, we expected a big difference in the quality of play and just kind of the skill and talent. And we've seen that again today. A lot of, like you said, very quality football plays. This one's down at the 45-yard line. So good field position for the Stripes with 11 seconds to go.
So solid field position starting from their own 45 for the Stripes. Now in terms of, playing time and rotating kids in and out, do you leave that as well to coach's discretion? Or is that something you try and personally, you guys go in there and try and even out to make sure everybody's getting reps?
Well, listen, every kid who's here is here for a reason, right? So we want them all to touch that field. We have guys counting reps. We have guys counting touches. The coaches are very, very aware of rotation. And in a game like this, when everyone's exhausting themselves, those rotations are just going to come natural because you can't just keep the same 11 out there.
Trying for a long pass will sail over everyone's head, bring up 2nd down. Jake Strong showing off the cannon.
Yeah, we want everybody here to enjoy the experience, get something out of it, and also have a little fun playing the game itself as well.
A player we really haven't seen a lot of, but one that you highlighted coming in was Chris Rice, the receiver from Colorado Springs.
Yeah, he's a kid who's been with us 2-3 years as well. 6'2", big target, can stretch the field. I wouldn't count him out just yet in terms of making a big play at some point.
Still a lot of time left. Probably the last play of the quarter, a huge hit. Trying to go with a little bit of trickery as Rivera is sent to the turf.
That was an absolute blown-up play. Rome Maggio, or Maggio? We don't know.
I'm going to go with Maggio.
Maggio sounds better, huh? Italian, maybe?
Big Polynesian.
There you go.
I love him from the Pacific Northwest.
Maggio, that was an absolutely beautiful play. Just read that right up the field and blew that up in the backfield.
That ends the 3rd quarter play. We got 12 minutes left, a 1-score game. Thank you again so much. Al Pops joining us. Some great insight for this final game. And on the other side of the break, Eric Chiafalo will join us right back as we get ready to count down the final 12 minutes of today's action on what's been a very exciting 5 days of action here at Frisco. Stay with us here at Game On Sports. We get underway, the final 12 minutes of action. Here's another flag. That might be number 8.
No, I strongly disagree. Did I miss anything, by the way, when I was gone?
You
missed 2 more flags.
You missed a beautiful pass from Jake Strong for a touchdown.
Really?
And
Jake
a couple
Strong,
of flags.
future Northwest Texan. My alma mater.
Hey, you should be excited.
I am. No, I am. Now, I'm not excited about the fact that the defenses he goes up against are like Fort Worth Polytechnic. When I played, I was going up against the Trinity Trojans and the Eagles of Allen.
On. I mean,
all
look.
right, the Dragons of South Lake. Okay, and he's going to play Polytechnic.
Like, in my day, we had to walk uphill both ways.
Yeah, back in my day, we didn't even get water at practice.
With no shoes.
By the way, that was the 8th penalty, so.
Really? So no more. We need a clean 4th here.
The final 11:42 got to be no flags, or else your perfect day of predictions will go by the wayside.
Yeah, this great day can go sour really quick here with one more piece of laundry on that field.
Tell you, this kid's been running hard. JT Foreman, since he's entered in, getting some touches right between the tackles. Good low center of gravity, just kind of bounces off people. Slippery runner.
Going to run for about 4, 2nd down and 6. These have been 2 very evenly matched teams. You got to think they've done a good job of divvying up the rosters for this final game. Second and 6, Strong on the rollout, has a lot of green space in front of him and will slide for the first down.
Yeah, you better slide before my boy James Madison. Excuse me, Ryan.
James Madison's a wide receiver.
Excuse me, Ryan Meza.
That's what happens when you take a quarter
lays
off.
the wood. Hey, it's in my contract, right? I only do
No, hey,
3
that's
quarters.
fine.
Yeah.
You know, let's get Pops back over here. No, I'm just messing with you. There's no one I'd rather sit next to. Although I do kind of wish we still had Pops. We should.
Yeah, well, he
should be a
smells
4-man
better than
booth.
I do. I noticed that. It smells great.
He does smell good. Is he Italian? Did you ask?
I need to. I got that vibe.
Well, because we
just
call
by
him
the
Pops
name.
because his last name's extremely difficult to pronounce.
Yeah, what's the last name again? I've just been calling him Pops.
Yeah, pull it up here.
Popsarilli? If it's Popsarilli, definitely Italian.
It's not Popsarilli.
I don't think it's Popsarilli.
Okay. Popsanoli?
Papadinus.
No,
because I said Papadinus and he said it was close, but
I would guess no. If the last name, if the last letter of the last name was a vowel, I'd be all in. He's Italian. But the fact that it's not, Eileen Czech.
10:17 to go.
We'll confirm that for the people
Back to
here
football.
later.
This is a good one here. So it's a one-possession game. Stripes with the ball.
Just used a timeout. First down and 10 for
First
him.
timeout to use. Really all throughout this series, and this is the 3rd game, all the coaches have done an excellent job of managing their timeouts.
These are college coaches. What a cool experience for a lot of these younger kids.
Gosh, that delayed draw.
That type of coaching, and right there able to use it well, gain of 9.
Starting to feel like this Stars defense is getting a little bit winded out there. Been on the field quite a bit. It's the fourth quarter. Stripes are getting that running game going. Maybe the Stars are getting a little bit exhausted.
Jaden Lindsay, an excellent run there. And, you know, as he's been rotating in and out with JT Foreman, that's quite the pop between the pair of them. And that delayed draw seems to really, really be working well.
Yeah, Lindsay, a nice spin move. Unfortunately, it was right into another defensive lineman.
The monster, Matthew Connors. Goodness gracious, that dude's an animal.
Looked like it was going to be a loss of 2 or 3. He was able to spin out of it and ends up just losing 1. 3rd down and 2.
And I'm pretty sure it must be a rule here in USA football. Biggest guy on the team gets number 98. Not sure why DeAndre Carter's not wearing it for the Stripes. We'll have to look into that. But goodness gracious, every single one of these games, there's a big 98 in the teeth of that defense. And Matthew Connors is no different for the Stars.
3rd down and 2. Here comes a blitz. Looks like they were going for a screen. A big hit.
Oh, man.
Oh, they almost had my boy, Christian Engman, going right up the seam. Would have found pay dirt, no problem.
And he was jumping up and down. He's calling
for
the ball.
Yeah, no, he was calling for it. He gave him the Randy Moss wave as soon as the ball was snapped. Hey, I am open, feed me. Unfortunately, that Stars defense was all over Mr. Strong.
Yeah, Walker Davis making the play. He's made a couple of good ones for that defensive line. And, you know, we talked about maybe the Stripes getting into the fourth quarter. Maybe they'd finally worn down the Stars defense a little bit, but they came up with a huge play there. Now it's 4th down.
They lost a 13 on the sack, and they're going to go for it with 8:20 to go, down by 7. There we go again, another rush, trying to go deep, and I don't think Foreman ever saw it.
Yeah, he just couldn't locate the ball. Strong knew exactly where he wanted to go with it. I like the idea, but tremendous coverage for the Stars there on a big defensive play. And, of course, who is it? Mr. Ryan Meza.
Golden Ball winner, Ryan Meza.
So the turnover on downs. Possession will go back over to the Stars.
And listen, if you're trying to grind out a game and be victorious, you're always happy when you have Jalen Davenport on your side. I mean, just get that man the ball and let him eat this clock, not unlike one Ezekiel Elliott does for these Dallas Cowboys.
So we'll toss it out to Davenport. Physical play for number 26, a gain of 8.
Getting it done out of the backfield as well for Davenport. We talked about it all game long. The dude just does everything right. We've seen him block great. We've obviously seen him run great. Now we get to see him out of the backfield a little bit, showing his receiving skills.
He's got fresh legs.
2nd and 2, able to slip out of the first tackle. Not able to break out of the next 3 Stripes defenders, right back to the line of scrimmage.
And I know we're not dwindling down to the final 2 minutes of the game here or anything, trying to ice this victory if you're the Stars, but I would slow things down here. I wouldn't be so in such a hurry to snap the ball. I mean, you got another 25 seconds. I'd run that down to at least 10 every time.
3rd down and 1, getting out of the shotgun. Trying a wide receiver screen, able to pick it up. A flag is down. They got the first down momentarily. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, and it's on the opposite side of the field, too. And it might end up being a hold, and that would be a killer, crushing penalty.
I know it is for Eric here. That's number 9.
I'm officially the loser in our game within the game. And I'll drop down and give you 10 push-ups.
Thank you.
You say one-handed, or can I use 2?
You can use 2.
Good.
Does end up being a holding call, and like you said, that's crushing. This Bryson Cornelius able to slip free for a first down, be called back for a hold. 3rd and 11 now. See what the Stars have drawn up here on their own 34-yard line. Clock running at 7:04 to go. It's another screen. Davenport has it past the 40, lowers the shoulder, got close to that first down marker, back to the line of original line of scrimmage, that is. And at the 44, it'll be just a yard short.
Really nice play in the open field by linebacker number 55, Aiden McGowan, out of Minnesota. We've seen him flash multiple times today, and that's a really big stop right there on 3rd and long.
Do you go for it here if you're the Stars? 4th and 1.
Big time question here. I think with a guy like Davenport and a big moose on that offensive line, the left side of that line with Philip Gallegos, I go for it.
And you just got a 3rd down and 1 with relative ease, and they didn't even run the football. They threw it out to the outside.
Interesting. They're throwing it here. There's no Davenport. Never mind. Don't need Davenport to run the ball. I'm over 3 on my play predictions here today.
It's Brandon Castillo from Albuquerque, New Mexico, the home of Walter White.
I could have sworn, and Jesse Pinkman, I could have sworn that with Davenport out of the game, they'd have thrown that thing.
Look, this is USA football. It's
yeah,
not like they have one talented back. They've got about 4.
What did y'all think about being in the shotgun on 4th down and 1?
Well, we haven't seen a single snap under center, Nick, so I can't say I was surprised.
Well, if they go under center there, I guarantee a quarterback sneak, and then after my guarantee, of course, they probably wouldn't have done it.
There's a nice catch here and some good yards after catch.
How about that?
Big Marquise Hill. We said it before. That guy's probably got the body to move to tight end. The lower extremities of this guy, I mean, he's just a moose out there. And for a corner on the edge to have to try to take him down, that's a tall task.
And we talked about that with Pops, and he said, look, I like him as a big-bodied outside receiver. And with a move like that, you can see why.
Then again, you don't want to put anyone in a specific box yet. You never know.
Never. We're not trying to box anybody in. It's all about projecting.
Yes, but I do agree. It's nice to have him on that outside as the wide receiver with that big size. Tough to cover. It's a good run there. Gain of about 5.
If the Stars are able to punch it in here, the Stripes are going to look back on this big 4th and 1 just a few moments ago and being unable to stop them there. Sort of a back-breaking play for defense.
Davenport again with a big physical run. Picks up the first down. Going under 5 minutes left in the game. Davenport again's got some room. Cuts back to the inside to the 5. Into the end zone for a touchdown.
There you go. That's your MVP for the Stars right there. He just sealed it with a cherry on top. And that run, even though it wasn't as long, might have been just as impressive as his first touchdown.
Big credit to that Stars offensive line. They opened up massive holes at 57, 50. They're all running down the field, getting second level, third level blocks. And the vision of Davenport and the strong running, not unlike Marshawn Lynch, the dude just barrels into the end zone. Just from top to bottom, a fantastic play. I was about to criticize the Stars because they're snapping the ball once again with 25 seconds on the play clock. Let's go ahead and ice this thing out. But if you're going to go get a touchdown, hey, go ahead and do it.
Extra point right down the middle, so it's back to a 14-point advantage. 4:46 to go. Stripes will get it back. What an afternoon for Jalen Davenport, a Washington native. Like you said, making a very strong case for the MVP trophy, or chain rather, for this Stars team.
And as the defense sort of wanes and gets exhausted as the game goes along, he's one of those backs, Davenport, that just sort of, like you mentioned, Walter, it looks like he has fresh legs right here. We're in the 4th quarter, and he just seems like he's getting better and better, getting in more of a rhythm, while the defense just is just gassed.
No question. And that was also a very championship-esque drive there for the Stars.
No doubt about it.
You know, I know that this is a bowl series. There's not a championship on the line, but you have a team on their heels. It's a one-possession game. You get the ball in your own territory. You go, for the most part, the length of the field. When you talk about field position here between both these squads, it's one of the longer drives we've seen today. And they go ahead and finish it with a touchdown. Very, very well done by that Stars squad.
And now this Stars defense can just really pin their ears back and get after whoever's playing quarterback. It looks like
Gilkey
they got
right
Gilkey in there right now.
Now attack the running back. Trying to get to the outside, not able to do so. An avalanche of white jerseys brings them down at the line.
94 right there, Fortenberry coming on back to the huddle. He's an absolutely special player out there.
Yeah, he jumps off the screen at you, no question. Dude's a player. He's made big play after big play. And if it would have been a fumble early on in the game, he would have taken it to the house, but they ruled it dead ball.
Second down, pass over the middle, not able to connect. Looking, I believe that was intended for Will Wade, the tight end out of Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah, and he had Adrian Fondren, big defensive lineman, number 63, just breathing down his neck there, all up in his kitchen, and he just couldn't really set his feet the way he wanted to. Big tight end over the middle. I like the idea, but he was double covered anyway. That play wasn't really going anywhere.
3rd and 10. There's a pass over the middle and is caught by at the 50 down to the 43.
There's a rip by Gilkey right there in stride.
Yeah, really nice ball there by Gilkey. I'm not really sure what happened in the secondary. Maybe a miscommunication between the corner and the safety. Michael King, or Mikel King out there playing that slot cornerback position, sort of got lost. Not sure if that was his man or if he was supposed to sink down into the flats there, but that opened up beautifully for the Stripes, and Gilkey found him.
Gerlach with the reception. In Two Stars territory, 3:42 to go. 1st down and 10. Another pass with a lot of mustard on it. Over the head, though, of the intended wide receiver and Chris Rice.
Yeah, coming into the game, we knew Rice was a player to watch, big body receiver, playmaking threat, sort of a possession guy, and that's exactly what you want right there. A nice first down play. It's right there on him. He just didn't get out of his break quick enough, and Gilkey was putting it on him.
Here comes Gilkey. A little bit of time going over the middle and over everyone's head to bring up 3rd down. Now here we see a little bit of the chippiness that Pops was talking about. You saw in the scrimmage. Finally boiling over here with 3:34 to go. And that will be penalties number 10 and perhaps 11.
It looks like Cameron Ryder, 76 in black, who lost his helmet. Now he'll have to come trotting on out.
Actually, Caden Kelly. Hate to correct you there, Walchuk, but Kelly's the one who got his helmet ripped off.
Well, would it be, was it Caden Kelly? Down. Oh, because there's 2 76s, you're right.
Yes.
It's all right, we've been there. I called Mesa like Madison at one point.
Oh, man.
It's been a long day for all of us. I mean, our 3rd game.
That's been fun, though. It's been a blast.
It's been unbelievable, but as much as the Stripes defense is waning here in the 4th quarter, I think we could say the same for at least Walchuk.
You speak for yourself. I could go another 3.
That 3rd quarter break for me is pretty good. It gets me to recharge. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to drop a Madison when I need a Mesa, but but I feel good to go. Like you said, Walchuk, I could go another 3.
This one's been just a bit longer, 12-minute quarters. First 2 games were 10-minute quarters. 3rd down and 10, the offsetting penalties going deep. Has a man opened and is caught down at the 15. The ball is out. And it's picked up by the Stars.
Holy cow.
Ryan Budire picks it up, and that should pretty much ice the game.
Gosh, poor Gerlach, man.
Yeah, because that was one of the best throws we've seen today. Just on the money in a tight space, able to get it over there to Gerlach, from Geslick to Gerlach, the G's.
Gilkey.
Gilkey,
there we go. He's dropping Madison on us.
What did you call Gilkey?
I think I called him Geslick.
Yeah, because you were guessing on the name.
It's Gilkey, baby. No, but Gilkey with a freaking dime.
Gilkey.
Just dropping a dime in there. I couldn't see who it was that punched the ball out.
I don't even know if anybody punched it or if it just sort of flew out of there.
Budire on coverage.
And the recovery.
He might have done both.
Yeah.
He had the strip and the recovery. Excellent play.
So now with 3:05 to go, they're just going to run it up the middle, gain up about 1.
Now let's see if they let this 40-second play clock run down a little bit. Let's not snap it with 25 left. Let's get it down into the 10s.
Be a timeout called
It's
the Stripes, they'll have one left.
Getting these kids reps, okay?
Oh, I get that, but it's also about winning the football game, is it not? I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
It's been a long day up here in the booth. You two are starting to get into each other here a little bit.
Oh, I love getting into some Wolchuk.
Excuse me?
2:59 to go, second down and 9. One timeout left for the Stripes, down by 2 scores.
Great looking guy, Wolchuk.
And what has been a eventful 5 days for these players.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be so cool to be a part of. And then to come on back in January and play that International Bowl series. So we were talking about that with Pops. You got, France, Japan, Canada, Mexico, all these teams that come. And, I can only imagine the first time I saw AT&T Stadium, I was absolutely blown away. So these, kids that are coming from other countries into the United States probably for the first time, and you walk up and you see the spaceship that is AT&T. Holy cow, I can't even imagine what they would be thinking.
Yeah, it's probably the equivalent of our USA kids going out and playing in France and taking a look at that Eiffel Tower, It's just like, holy smokes, here we are, Jerry World. It's Texas's Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it's one of the wonders of the world.
And a penalty against the Stripes, I believe it was rough on the passer. It'll be a first down for the Stars with 2:56 to go.
So free first down there. Not what you want if you're the Stripes, and one timeout left. Now you don't have the ability to stop the clock.
Talking about the International Bowl, as Pops was saying, you take the best kids from the regionals, you bring them in here. You take the best kids from here and invite them to that International Bowl. It will be next January. It'll be the first time France will bring a team out to AT&T Stadium, so it's good to see the game of football not only growing here at home but also abroad. Canada and Mexico been playing in these international bowls a lot. Now to see another team or another country like France coming in, definitely very exciting. You talked about maybe at one point England will bring in their own team. I mean, they have the NFL series throughout the year. You got to think that's gaining popularity over in that country
absolutely.
as well.
That's what I'm curious about is that successful? We've seen the NFL go and play some games in Osaka, Japan, and whether it's been the preseason. Same thing with Mexico City. In fact, that Rams and Chiefs game this year was supposed to be played in Mexico City, and then they moved it back to California during the wildfires. Ended up being arguably the best game of the season. So we've seen the NFL, go international, but it seems like the most resources they've put in is playing games overseas in London. So I'd be very curious to see if that has built more of an interest to the game of football, and if they are able to develop their own youth teams to be competitive.
Nevertheless, again, exciting. Like Pops was saying, to see, he called out the Japanese team in particular, just the amazement. He also talked about just the amount of sportsmanship and how polite that Japanese teams are. Coming over here, another flag down on the field. This one's incomplete.
Yeah, there's a flag there off that backside, and that was a play breaking down. You see the athleticism from Kalen Davis, trying to get it to his running back out in the flats, or his receiver, Bryson Cornelius. Just gets right off the hands of Cornelius. Had a chance at a big gainer. Probably would have come back regardless.
Third down and about 12 with 2:40 to go. Stripes could perhaps get a stop here. Maybe get a quick strike. Instead, we'll have the quarterback run, and he's got a lot of room. Down to the 30, 20, no one's going to catch him. It's a touchdown out of the Wildcat formation. James Madison has iced this ball game.
There's the second touchdown of the game for James Madison, the second.
Sure that wasn't Ryan Meza?
No, it was not Meza.
All right, very good.
It certainly was an M, though. It was a Madison. I see
The
your Meza, and I'll
M's,
raise you a Madison, sir.
The M's, the 16s, it's hard to keep track of these guys. They're both ballers, so lucky for the Stars. They got a stud 16 on both sides of the ball.
A bit of a delay. Get the holder out there.
Great hold.
Doesn't result in the made field goal, though. Goes just wide. 20-point lead for the Stars team with 2:26 to go.
Hey, if you're going to be late to the party, at least bring some party favors, and he certainly did there. Fantastic hold by Dorman.
It's good to see the holder getting some credit.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. And he, you know, he put on a show. He was a little bit late getting out there. Forced us to talk about him, and then he goes out there and puts on a heck of a performance.
Okay. That's 30.
Welcome to the final few minutes of USA football.
2:26 left. You know what's been a fantastic afternoon here at the Ford Center. The Star headquarters of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys in Frisco, Texas. Playing a host of the middle school bowl game series. They had the one up in Canton, Ohio a few weeks ago. First down. Here comes Strong. Will keep the ball. And is twisted out of bounds at the line.
Tackle made by number 11, Isaac Stokes.
Well, of course, concluding this one, we will have our MVPs announced, so we encourage you to stick around for that one.
Any guesses, Walchuk?
Well, I already named the Stars MVP as soon as he had that second touchdown.
Oh, Mr. Davenport.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Davenport clearly will be the MVP. Now, look, James Madison with that last score certainly probably is going to garner a little bit more consideration. But
Madison or
Davenport,
Mesa?
It's Madison.
Madison, okay.
We're sure on that.
100%.
All right.
This one's caught at the 29, and again, a whole lot of white jerseys. Brings them down, again, about 3. Bring up 3rd and long.
Christian Ingram, my boy, got the chance to catch up with him at halftime.
It's Ingham.
Isn't that what I said?
You said Ingram. You keep putting an R in there.
I throw an R in there for some reason.
He's going to get some good barbecue
That's
tonight,
on
I
me.
believe.
He
Yeah.
is. He's grubbing hard.
I wonder where they're going. Part 8?
Now he shouted out your boy, Walchuk, Jason Witten, number 80.
He did. And it's funny because we talked about that with Pops up here, and, you know, I uttered how I love Jason Witten. You have been not so kind to my guy.
Including earlier this morning, I might add.
Yeah, I found a way to wedge some Jason Witten slander into the breakfast conversation. I sure did.
Which is just completely uncalled for.
Listen, he's a Hall of Famer in his own right, but at 37 years old, at 2 yards of pop, all right, and a year off where he was star-studded in the booth, not sure why he left there, and now he finds himself on the football
That's why he left there.
In football years, he's
in football,
73.
The dude is
all
an
right?
exceptional player.
He was known for his blocking back in the day. Last I saw,
he's known for moving the chains, and that's exactly what he's going to do for the Dallas Cowboys this year.
You say so.
If you want more of that conversation, you can tune into the Nosebleed Seats podcast.
Highly recommended.
So there we go, 4th and 7. Strong loses the football, picks it right back up, and will be tackled at the 30. Turnover on downs. The final 40 seconds or so will belong to the Stars with a 20-point advantage.
All in all, I think we certainly saw the size and the physicality on full display. Some great individual plays made. The defensive line for the Stripes was as advertised. You know, Davey Palumbo III was brilliant, along with DeAndre Carter. Can't say enough about the excellent play of Joshua Santos on the outside as well. Really, really good job along the defensive front there for the Stripes.
We saw some glimpses on the Stripes offense. You had Jake Strong had some great stuff.
Great play.
Gilkey had a couple of nice passes, didn't get a whole lot of bounces his way, but there was some offensive firepower on the Stripes team, but that Stars defense was just suffocating, as we'll get and nail down here, as that should do it. The Stars
formation
with a 20-point win to close out this weekend of football festivities. Again, do stick around as we have the MVP presentations coming up in just a moment. Well, Chuck, you're saying for the Stars, we got Jalen Davenport as the MVP. We'll see perhaps who will get MVP for the Stripes as we officially hit all zeros. 30-10, Stars with the win. Some great football we've seen throughout these 3 games.
Now, this is an unbelievable series that they do here at the Star at the Ford Center here in Frisco, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of it, and I'm excited for that International Bowl that'll be going to AT&T Stadium in Arlington in January.
It was a little scary talking to Pops about the big players that they're expecting to sign into this program. The defensive line average size, if everything goes according to plan, would be about 6'5" for kids going into high school. Definitely saw some big guys out on the field this afternoon. And that Stripes defensive line, Santos being the smaller of the ones, but was still phenomenal, like you said. Davey Pombo, DeAndre Carter, Evan Keefe were phenomenal for that Stripes defensive line. As we go in now for the MVP awards.
Today's MVPs are number 26, Jalen Davenport for the U15 Stripes.
So it is indeed Jalen Davenport out of Spanaway, Washington, for the Stars. And you have Davey Palumbo, Carmen, California, a defensive lineman, getting the MVP honors.
Well deserved. 2 ballers.
Love the fact that a lineman's
game.
getting an MVP here.
Yeah. Yeah, looking great. Look at that. A little handshake, a little love.
Get a picture, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, Instagram.
Congratulations to those two, Jalen Davenport and Davey Pombo III.
Gosh, swagger is just radiating off the screen right now.
Some good sportsmanship there, and well, we've seen that throughout the game. And maybe a little bit surprising, we only saw 1 or 2 little tussles after the whistle, after hearing there's a lot of tension between these two squads in the scrimmage Saturday night. A lot of good sportsmanship throughout the day. And that will do it for our coverage of the 2019 Texas Classic, part of the High School Bowl Game Series. A big thank you for tuning in to Game On Sports. For our producer, Fred Garner, for Eric Tiafalo, Zach Wolchuk, and Pops, I'm Nick Laupia saying so long from Frisco, Texas.